Hello, everybody that's watching, and hi from Profila in 2025. So we're setting up our first live sessions this week, and next week there'll be a lot more content coming from us to the community. And we've got a great announcement today, which we will tell you a little bit more at the end. But a fantastic start for, I think, the crypto community at large, with changes globally that I think impact anyone in this space. So we're very bullish in Profila. For us, the timing, has been secondary to building something amazing for our community. And for those who know us, we've been building for 6 years. A lot of research and development, a lot of prototyping, thousands of conversations with brands, with people, all focused on the fundamentals of privacy, how you own and share your data in exchange for value. Focusing also on the advertising industry first, but then leaning into other sectors as we actually launch the platform. So we're very excited for what this year has to hold for us. It's the year that we actually relaunch our platform for enterprise. More news on that in the coming weeks. And also strategic partnerships that we'll announce going forward. Plus our global intentions to be at the heart of where crypto will be in the future. So Luke, maybe just a couple of words from your side on happenings in the US and how you believe it will be beneficial for us.
It's the macro environment is simply changing. And so all this kind of untapped enthusiasm and ideas, they were kind of damped down previously, both here in Europe and in the US. Now the signal is, let's experiment, let's try. We're going to make it easier for companies who want to do beautiful things. That seems to have built up a lot of enthusiasm and also forced some real come to Jesus moments here in Europe. Of Europe's going to fall behind if it does over-regulate itself, if it does cut companies off at the knees. Not only the kind of companies who want to build here, but who need to find investment here. There's going to have to be a change, and I think there's just more and more momentum of that. Just because, there's a race. There's a race for a lot of different things, whether it's AI or other things, blockchain and crypto and all these things. There's a massive competition, and nobody wants to leave their citizens behind, and they're going to have to give up on some of their previous desires for control. And it's going to be a Wild West. It's going to be very interesting to watch and very interesting to be a part of.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Michiel, just your opinions.
As a European, I wanted to say, as a European startup launching a token sale already over the last years, we were always wary of US investors because we could never onboard users. They were doing AML and KYC via a Swiss authorized intermediary, and they just block every US investor because of disfavorable regulations in the United States. I always found it a weird idea that the center of innovation like the US can't even participate in new technology like cryptocurrency token sales. So I hope now with the SEC lead who is pro-crypto and with the president is pro-crypto that the US can participate again.
Yeah, what I find is cool though is the change in tone is totally different. Okay, there's money available all of a sudden. We know it's been there, but I think investors have been a little bit scared in the past years, uncertain possibly. But I think there's going to be a phase of constructive building and enough funding to really prove businesses and business cases that stand out. And Profila is one, that people realize is at the core, because data is at the core of everything, especially personal data. When it comes to AI, when it comes to how it is going to dominate so many markets in the future and impact every industry, we have to help people to control their preferences, their time, their data that they share, or their Profila that they share. So that's why we're extremely excited, because the market is always moving towards our use case over the many years that we've been working on the project. And we keep understanding a little bit more in chunks. And Luke and I this morning were just talking about, how our platform will really help the AI industry in in giving it the context of information about a person that they need, to be able to make that engine actually work. AI is currently trained on the internet's data, which apparently is only a tenth of what it is going to look like in the future. But without understanding the individual, it's not going to be useful. So Luke, just a snippet about how we see we can help AI in the future.
Yeah, it reminds me of something I said to you guys after I got back from the ICOM conference in the spring, that all these marketers, all these agencies, mostly we're talking about AI as a better way to stalk people. And they didn't use those words, but all their examples were, no, this is going to help us be able to get into the customer's minds. And I kept saying, well, why don't you ask them? How about that? That's a possibility. And I see that in some of the tone of other things. It's just this simply is going to allow easier ways of surveillance. So it's essentially, it's a new technology being put on the existing paradigm. And the existing paradigm is so flawed that we can play a role in saying, AI, there's a better way. There are things you know and there are things you don't know. What you don't know is what's in my head and what's in my heart. And the only way you can get that is by subscribing by Profila. And your Profila becomes your prompt because it gives all the context. And Sean, I gave this example. I was looking for something on ChatGPT for my mother, and I had to type in about 5 different data points about my mother to get something that was going to be useful. Well, those are 5 data points that are my mother's information. And eventually she could be able to tie into ChatGPT. So if she's saying, I'm looking for a holiday, it already knows all the things about her that it needed to know what kind of holiday she wants and what her limitations are, what she expects on there. That's the component that's missing because it doesn't exist in the current paradigm. The current paradigm has bad data. AI is just doubling down on that bad data, not saying, well, okay, AI can do incredible things, but it still can't know what I want right now. It can guess. It's a poor guess. You will never know if it's a bad guess, but you don't know once you come to me.
Absolutely. And it's something else which enraged me a bit, though, is some loose statements from very influential software leaders around the world, saying that AI will be a mass surveillance tool that will keep citizens in its place. And it's that type of language that fueled us to start Profila in the first place. And we must never forget that technology and progress is amazing, and it will change a lot of people's lives. However, we're always on that precipice of it going too far, and how we will be controlled. It's all in the movies that we watched as children in sci-fi, that this could happen, but it is going to happen. Yeah. So part of Profila's real mission statement is human agency, is how do I decide who gets my data and how do I control my freedom of movement digitally and physically?
Think about, right now, if AI is processing this video, it's saying, well, McKeel obviously has liver disease from his color palette of his face. Well, no, that's just his video camera. He's a very, very healthy man. He can scale mountains. I've seen him do it. He is not jaundiced. But that's all AI know, because that's all they can do is they can see the surface, they can't see underneath.
It looks a little bit greenish, yeah. It's
greenish, yellowish. Either way, you're going to die soon.
It's got lighting.
What I'm excited for is the shakeup that AI will give every industry. And I think every industry is also going to think twice about how much data do I keep. We as a startup have been using a CRM provider for several years. It's expensive, it's clunky, and we don't actually use it. So we're fundamentally challenging companies. Why do you need this mass data in your CDPs and your CRMs when through AI enablement to single data sources controlled by intelligent humans, you can get everything that you need? So you'll hear us talking a lot more in the next weeks and months around how do you as a sovereign individual actually control every data feed that any company needs about you in just-in-time process or in near real time so that they can service you. Okay, we're not against a fantastic digital economy. We all want it, but we want it on our terms. And that's something I don't hear enough from these leaders. Okay, even the Musks and the Altmans and so on, they've got these grand ideas about solving everything in the world, but not often enough do they talk about individual sovereignty. Okay, and if we put AI behind an individual and you control it as a tool, and I know a lot of companies are trying to build this, then it becomes empowering for every human being. Okay, and that's where Profila comes in, is the data that fuels any AI system in the future will always be generated by a human or observation of a human, which is what we're trying to get rid of. Okay, so or we're trying to counter it and obfuscate it and hide it in a way that it doesn't impact your life. And we've started, just as a recap, in the advertising industry. That's why Profila's main mission is to offer companies and brands an alternative platform. So how does a brand, any company actually get to know you? It will be fundamentally different through Profila. And that's what we're educating, is how do you access a piece of data as a company? How do you act on it? And how do you deliver a great service? So yeah, Michiel, why don't you tell the audience, though, because this is going to be a shorter welcome hello call, just about our big announcement in the next days.
Yeah, so the big announcement for today is that the public round of our Zeek token sale has been fixed. So it will be a 5-day event on the decentralized exchange of MinSwap between the 10th of February and the 14th of February. So from Monday morning, 8 p.m. UK time until Friday evening midnight, we will launch our IDO of Zeek on MinSwap. We'll also be launching an ICO in parallel on the centralized exchange, but the announcement about that partnership will follow in the coming days. So I want to thank all the pre-seed and seed round investors and everybody who believed in us to wait already for a while, because it has been going on for now 2 years. And then just for everybody who is invested in pre-seed rounds or in the IDO itself, we'll follow up shortly with a newsletter about cliff investing periods, because subsequently to the launch of the public sale, there will also be the listing. So Zeek will be listed both on MinSwap's centralized exchange and on a centralized exchange, and then trading can happen. So the first month will be exclusively for the ones who bought in the IDO and ICO, and then as from 1 month, the cliff period ends, and everybody will get 1/9 or 1/12 of their investment spread over time. So I think we're at the right stage in our project to launch the public sale, because our product is now ready for testing, and we're also at the right stage in the market to launch this token, because the bull run will still be going on, we believe, for the remainder of 2025. And so that coincides very well with the cliff investing periods. So yeah, if you're not yet in our newsletter, definitely go to our website or our token website. Our website is profila.com, and our token website is zero-knowledge-token.com. Or just follow us on Twitter, and we'll share the announcements, how to set up a wallet, how to participate in the IDO, how to participate in the ICO. We have bonus programs for people who do the AML and KYC. We have bonus programs for people who join the app and do some activities. And then we will have probably a referral program if you get your friends, fools, and family to participate as well.
Awesome, Michiel. And just a reminder, Zeek is our token, Z-E-K-E, and that's derived from Zero Knowledge Token. The project of Profila was always revolving around zero surveillance. Then came our obsession with zero-party data. Zero knowledge proofs is a technology we will be implementing, and have started some trials on multi-party computation or technologies that we're looking at, all leading to that same theme of zero exposure for the individual, unless you want to. So we believe we've built something, foundational to a new data era. And that is what the Zeek tokenomics represents. Brave was a leader in this space with their basic attention token, and Zeek takes that to the next level, okay? Because on the platform, you'll be paid out in the Zeek token for data that you've actually shared with a brand, and also for the attention that you've given to any content that you've agreed to see from the brand. So it is very different to the passive environment in Brave, where you're looking at the internet and you're still seeing content that's not perfectly tailored to you. In Profila, our researchers actually from the University of Madrid labeled us as an active zero-knowledge platform. So we have a huge amount to offer an industry regulatory in flux because everyone is sitting and scratching and saying, what is the impact on AI going to be on my business? What is the impact on data going to be on my business? That's why Profila's timing to enter the market is perfect, because we do have a totally new mechanism for brands to ethically source data with people's consent, to ethically source real-time and ongoing preferences as to what do I want to see when, what frequency, or just to pause things. Okay, and there's quite a few nuances which you'll start seeing over the next 2 weeks again, where Luke will also explain our product features like Metronome, which are a world first. Very counterintuitive to the ad industry, where you can actually switch things off or say, I want to see one piece of content a week or a month or nothing, because you are the center of the universe on Profila. And that is what Zeek represents. Zeek represents your decisions through data you've shared, through preferences you've shared, and also your attention, okay, which is your two most valuable assets as a human being. And we're also going to be talking a lot more in depth around how we will help the AI sector with human agency, and also giving people some control of the masses of data that is really out there on the internet. So we're super excited for a fast start to 2025. And yeah, please follow us on our channels. X is our main channel. We do have Telegram and Discord for those who want to dive deeper. And you can find all the details on our website, but we're mainly on X. We do stream on LinkedIn and YouTube as well. So if you've got any questions and you want to understand how Profila will affect your own business, please contact us, because we've completed closed beta trials last year. And now we're preparing to do trials with enterprise customers in the first quarter, in parallel with our token launch, which we believe, will really change the way that companies even see data. Rather than trying to gather tons and tons and millions of dormant, dead, stale records, we're going to introduce them to this new psychology of sourcing, correct, accurate, ethical, real-time data direct from the source, okay, which is your customer. I think we're gonna offer also the crypto market something different, because most have obsessed on a few themes, in DeFi and in infrastructure and DePIN, all which are essential layers to enable platforms like Profila. Because we are a DApp, we've selected technologies and smart contracts to use in our platform, but we're the type of platform that brings the volume. We've tested, and the platform is built to scale to tens of thousands of brands and to millions of consumers. And every one of them in the future will have a digital relationship with a brand, okay, through the platform, also linked to the Cardano infrastructure, to validate every single decision that you've made, if you want to. So yeah, we're excited. Luke, I'll give you a closing thought or two, and Michiel, and then we can close out this very short announcement space.
Yeah, I have no closing thoughts. I've said it all already.
Well, we're going to hear more from you in the next week or two. So very cool there. Michiel?
Yeah, so wishing everybody a nice weekend. Follow us on Twitter. It's @ProfilaPrivacy. And then we'll ramp up the messages about how to participate in the token sale in the coming weeks.
Awesome. So then, as a summary, our announcement is official, not going to change for those who followed us. We changed once or twice because of the bear markets and timing and conditions, but the stars are aligned. Okay, the world is positive, and the world is looking at crypto positively, and they're looking for change in the businesses that we as Profila are targeting in the source of data and marketing, which are foundational to every single business. So the 10th to the 14th of February will be the public Zeek token sale. It will be on MinSwap as a DEX. We will announce a SEX listing next week. We're very excited, and we want you to join in with us. Ask us any question on public channels, and we will be there to support you, because we've built this for individuals. Thank you very much, and we'll speak to you soon.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.